unidentified beauty in the stone coffin reveals secrets that shocked medieval people, leaving archaeologists stunned. Enigmatic echoes greets you. Dear friends, the world contains many mysteries hidden beneath the pages of history. Over time, we have discovered numerous fascinating stories and amazing findings from artifacts left behind by the past. Among these are millennium-old great works, mysterious stone coffins, and secrets surrounding thousand-year-old mummies. Join Enigmatic Echoes as we travel back in time to explore historically shocking archaeological discoveries in today's video. An ancient tomb exposed beneath a hotel foundation, a tragedy that hasn't faded. Recently, archaeologists from Mexico's National Institute of Anthropology and History reported excavating an ancient Maya tomb during construction of the Chalmea Hotel in the ancient city of Palenque. Palenque was recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in the 1980s. The flourishing period of this Maya city was from 226 BC to 799 AD. A period that left behind countless pyramids and spectacular structures that still stand today. From the 8th century AD, the population gradually declined and the city was eventually abandoned. Spanish records from 1520, when they invaded the area, indicated the region still had inhabitants but was sparsely populated. Today, Palenque has become a famous tourist destination. Therefore, the Maya Hotel was restarted at a location without existing structures in the city's outskirts. However, when digging the foundation, workers discovered a 4-meter-deep stone-lined ritual space sealed with limestone slabs. The remains in this Maya tomb were concluded to be of a high-status individual who might have lived in a small settlement in this suburban area. According to Diego Prieto Hernandez, the person in the tomb was placed lying face down, legs extended straight, head facing forward, with offering vessels and beads nearby as traces of grave goods. However, to know more precisely about what's related to the remains in this tomb, experts still need more time and evidence to reach final conclusions. Therefore, to this day, the tomb discovered beneath the hotel foundation remains a mystery. The mysterious Skull Tower of the Aztecs. Archaeologists from Mexico's National Institute of Anthropology and History discovered over 650 skulls tightly packed together at a site near Templo Mayor, one of the sacred temples located in the center of Tenochtitlan, which was the capital of the Aztec Empire, now Mexico City. They identified this as part of Huizumpantli, the massive skull rack that terrified the Spanish conquistadors when they captured the city. According to records, the skulls in the tower were severed heads of warriors from before the Spanish conquest, and were part of many ancient Mesoamerican cultures. However, during excavations from 2015 to present, archaeologists have found skulls of varying ages and genders. This challenges previous hypotheses that women and children weren't involved in wars. Notably, this skull tower section has a circular structure about 6 meters in diameter. Located in the shrine of Huitzilopochtli, the Aztec god representing the sun, war, and human sacrifice. Specifically, 676 skulls have been discovered, and the number will likely increase as archaeologists continue excavation work. It's known that Aztec is the name for several peoples in central Mexico today. They dominated much of Mesoamerica from the 14th to 16th centuries with a rich culture and human sacrifice rituals. Therefore, this discovery is extremely interesting and mysterious for archaeologists. A female mummy in surprisingly intact silk clothing inside a stone coffin. Buried heat underwater in Siberia, Russia was accidentally discovered by experts when dam water receded to low levels, exposing the tomb. According to experts, because the woman's mummy wearing a silk dress was placed in a stone coffin, the body remained quite intact despite the tomb being underwater for years. S body didn't. On the mummy's chest, experts also found a bag of pine nuts. According to ancient beliefs, these nuts helped the deceased transition smoothly to the afterlife. Additionally, experts found a makeup box containing birch bark and a small mirror. Adding to the artifacts, experts determined the mummy was of a nomadic herder, possibly from the noble class. The silk, mirror, and coins found in the tomb are believed to date from the Han Dynasty period, around 206 BC to 220 AD. However, the reason for her death and her social status and age still cannot be precisely determined, as discovering such a mummy in a mysterious stone coffin is extremely rare. Therefore, experts continue to conduct deeper research to decode the woman's identity and her life before death. Mystery of the 3,000-year-old tomb. In northern Peru, archaeologists have excavated an ancient tomb that may be the burial site of a religious leader from about 3,000 years ago. The skeleton buried in the tomb is identified as the priest of the Paco Ampayu region, named after the highland area where the tomb was discovered. This priest was buried under 6 layers of mixed soil and black earth, along with numerous decorated ceramic bowls and ritual seals placed on the body, reflecting ancient rituals used for high-status individuals in society. Additionally, scientists also discovered 2 special seals along the edge of the tomb. One seal depicts a human face facing east, while the other features a jaguar facing west. Archaeologist Susie Shaky, the project leader, stated that this ancient tomb is unusually large with a diameter of nearly 2 meters and a depth of 1 meter. Moreover, the body was buried in a very special position, lying prone with crossed feet. On the skeleton, archaeologists also found a tuyupiu, a large pin used by indigenous people in the Andes to fasten clothing. However, tuyupius were typically used by women. This indicates that although the person buried in a tomb was male, the items associated with him are very unusual, and he might have been a leader in his era. Tomb of a 2,300-year-old courtesan. While constructing a road in Jerusalem, researchers discovered the remains of a woman along with several iron weapons and a rare bronze box mirror in excellent condition, suggesting her status might have been that of a high-class courtesan serving a high-ranking Greek official. Dating back to the 3rd or 4th century BCE, with a tomb located in a burial chamber excavated near a highway in southern Jerusalem. This is actually the earliest evidence in Israel of cremation during the Hellenistic period. The most intriguing question about this discovery is why the tomb of a Greek woman is located on the highway leading to Jerusalem, far from any known sites or settlements of that time. The answer may be revealed through the burial goods, as the box mirror is a gender-specific item typically associated with Greek women. The mirror's production quality is so high that it has been preserved in excellent condition, looking as if it were made yesterday. Luxury items like this mirror were sometimes purchased by Greek women as part of their dowry for marriage, though married women usually stayed at home and certainly did not leave Greece. Heterae were women who accompanied generals and officials on foreign campaigns, providing various services, some of which could be sexual. According to researchers, the presence of such a refined object alongside cremated remains indicates this is the tomb of a Greek woman who accompanied a high-ranking member of the military or state during the Hellenistic period. Notably, based on the tomb's age, it is likely that the hetera and the person she served came to Jerusalem during the campaign of Alexander the Great, or possibly during the Diadochi Wars, conflicts that erupted among Alexander's generals over succession rights. Famous Pyramid of Sahur reveals new mystery as collapsed wall exposed. An Egyptian-German archaeological team, while working on a project to restore the collapsed structure inside the Sahur pyramid, accidentally discovered a collapsed passage within the pyramid leading to a system of 8 previously unknown rooms. The 48-meter-high Sahur pyramid is one of Egypt's most famous pyramids, located in the pyramid field of Abusir south of Giza. It is the resting place of Pharaoh Sahur, the second ruler of the 5th dynasty from 2465–2325 BCE, during the Old Kingdom period of Egypt. The reign of Pharaoh Sahur was one of the most prosperous periods economically and culturally, with many major trade routes established. This pharaoh also chose not to be buried in traditional royal cemeteries like Saqqara or Giza, but instead built his pyramid alone at Abusir. Although smaller in size than the pyramids of his predecessors, the Sahor pyramid is more elaborate with over 10,000 square meters of finely carved reliefs, some considered priceless treasures in the history of Egyptian art. Certainly, its interior was once very luxurious, which is why this magnificent pyramid became a target for grave robbers over millennia. However, while attempting to restore the heavily damaged burial chamber area, scientists accidentally found a passage. Using 3D scanning with mobile lidar scanners, the research team led by Dr. Mohammed Ismail Khalid continues to map the pyramid's hidden areas. They have not yet reached the end of the newly discovered rooms, but believe that careful restoration and reinforcement will enable them to do so in the future. Particularly, since this is a pyramid of extremely high historical value, the restoration process must prioritize preserving the structural integrity. The archaeological team also believes the newly discovered rooms may be storage chambers, potentially containing artifacts, promising to provide more details about the Sahor era. Mysterious house appears on precarious cliff. On a very dangerous cliff, just meters above the Pacific Ocean waves, a wooden house suddenly appeared. Many questions have been raised about this house, but no one has provided a definitive answer. A strange, crooked three-story house made of wooden beams has appeared on a rock formation in the coastal area of California, USA. This rock formation is part of a cliff called Devil's Slide, famous for frequent landslides, to the extent that a road once passing nearby has been destroyed. This cliff has its ominous name because it is an extremely dangerous footpath leading down to the ocean. The first time this mysterious house was discovered was in December 2022 through a video recorded by a drone. Since then, many people have tried to find more images of it via Google Maps. Inside the house, there seem to be several rooms standing on a small rock ledge. In this house, the view could be very beautiful or terrifying depending on each person's perspective. Zoomed-in images show signs of life because there appears to be a wooden table and an enclosed room inside. Through Google Maps images, people can see what appears to be a rope connecting the house to a narrow trail on the cliff, believed to be the path to the house. But until now, questions remain unanswered. Who built that house, why, and how? Because this structure is close to the ocean and not on the land of St. Mateo County, the county does not manage it. Therefore, the mystery of why this house appeared and who its real owner is. Perhaps no one can answer. Could this be related to some mysterious underground world? Mysterious texts in the Qin Dynasty ancient well. Shaanxi, Hunan, China is an area inhabited by many ethnic minorities. The Miao people have lived here for generations and have many ancient buildings with unique architectural styles. In 2002, an archaeological team conducting excavations in Shaanxi along the ruins of the ancient city of Liza discovered an ancient well. This well dates back to the Qin Dynasty, so experts plan to go down and investigate. After careful planning and implementation, archaeologists entered this ancient well, and the subsequent discoveries shocked the entire country. Finally, experts found a large number of texts in the ancient well written on over 30,000 bamboo slips from the Qin Dynasty. These bamboo slips had been buried in mud. Some writings were still clear, but some had disintegrated over time. Archaeologists named this collection of texts the Liza bamboo slips, shocking the entire country as one of China's most important archaeological discoveries of the 21st century. So why did the discovery of the Liza bamboo slips create such a huge impact? That's because the Liza bamboo slips contain much information different from traditional history, and are even considered capable of changing history. During the Qin Dynasty, a major event occurred: the burning of books and burying Qin Shi Huang ordered the burning of many types of books and burying scholars alive, which took place in 213 to 212 BC. The goal was to eliminate all ideologies and doctrines that existed during the spring and autumn and warring, only promoting legalism to serve the rule of the Qin monarch. This move by Qin Shi Huang unified the country's ideology but also created gaps in history. Among the over 30,000 Qin Dynasty bamboo slips, experts have counted approximately 200,000 most reflecting pre-Qin and Qin Dynasty history, recording official documents and laws of the Qin Dynasty. This is considered the most important archaeological discovery of the Qin dynasty after the Terracotta Army was excavated in 1973 in Xi'an. And notably, this is not the first time ancient texts capable of changing history have been discovered in China. But the Liza slips are the largest and most significant collection of ancient documents. In 1972, two Han Dynasty tombs were discovered at Yingke Mountain, Yulin City, Shandong Province. Both tombs had been severely damaged by tomb robbers. However, after archaeological experts arrived, they still found some very valuable items, namely the famous Yingke Mountain bamboo slips. This set of bamboo slips records many rare ancient military texts, including several chapters of Sun Bin's Art of War by Sun Bin from the Warring States period that had been lost for a long time. 16 previously unknown chapters of Sun Bin's Art of War and 7 chapters of 6 secret teachings that previously Art of War from the Yingke Mountain tomb was rated as one of China. The appearance of the Yingke Mountain bamboo slips confirmed the actual existence of Sun Bin's Art of War and also confirmed that Sun Bin's Art of War was not written by Sun Bin. In this way, a historical mystery was solved. Overall consideration shows that the discovery of the Liza bamboo slips is even more precious, such as mathematical tables, calculation charts, containing the world's earliest mathematical laws discovered in the Liza bamboo slips. However, the complete content of the Liza bamboo slips has not been fully published. Archaeologists stated, "We absolutely dare not publish these contents." There are up to 200,000 characters in the Liza bamboo slips. Many words still undeciphered due to their damaged condition. Some content in the Liza bamboo slips does not match Orthodox history. Archaeologists do not fully understand the content of these ancient texts, so they also dare not publish them completely. And currently, the Liza bamboo slips are being displayed in a museum in Liza, Hunan. Although only a small portion of the content is revealed, it is still very interesting and profoundly meaningful. A ship full of precious artifacts has been discovered underground. On September 7, 2019, Hezi, Shandong Province, China experienced an extremely heavy rainstorm. The city center of Hezi was the area most severely affected by the storm. In this area, a new public construction project had begun. Due to the heavy rain, soil and many items were washed away, while digging and cleaning the construction site. Construction workers discovered many blue porcelain fragments exposed at their feet. Immediately, this person reported it to the site management board. After coming to inspect, this person concluded these were not ordinary pottery fragments. He immediately called the police. While waiting for the authorities to arrive, the workers also unearthed a relatively intact porcelain vase. When the police officer saw this vase, he immediately requested the entire construction site be sealed off. Simultaneously, they contacted the local Cultural Relics Protection Agency to come and work. Initially, upon hearing about the ancient pottery vase being excavated, authorities only thought this might be an area of buried tombs. However, when the Cultural Relics Inspection Department began work, they discovered signs indicating that what was underground was not an ancient tomb. Instead, experts believed this could be a sunken ship carrying artifacts that had been buried. Digging deeper, traces of the ship gradually emerged. Subsequently, experts began cleaning the entire exterior of the ship. They speculated this was a domestic wooden cargo ship. The entire left frame of the ship had disappeared. The ship's bottom was basically still intact. The ship was tilted at a 50-degree angle. They suspected the ship sank to the river bottom due to a collision. This was an extremely rare shipwreck discovery. Therefore, to protect the integrity of the ship's hull and the items in the cabins from damage, the G-Tech department invited the two best manual shipbuilders in the area to provide guidance. In fact, getting these two master craftsmen to the site was not an easy task. They were both born into families with shipbuilding traditions dating back to the Ming Dynasty. At that time, these two veteran craftsmen still preserved ancient ship models from centuries ago. However, upon hearing about the discovery of an ancient sunken ship, these two did not refuse the invitation and immediately joined to assist. They were invited to the site to analyze the overall structure of the ship as well as the function of each cabin. This would help experts understand which parts of the ship were the weakest and which were the most difficult to clean. Thus, the excavation work also proceeded more smoothly. During the excavation and cleaning process, the local G-Tech Cultural Protection Office found many ancient coins. Accordingly, based on this evidence combined with the structural characteristics of the ship, experts predicted it belonged to the Yuan dynasty. They also confirmed that the archaeological and economic value of the ship was extremely great. as more than 120 intact antique items had been excavated from inside the ship. Notably, they were all porcelain items produced during the Yuan dynasty, a type of porcelain that was extremely expensive. Despite being buried underground for many years, the patterns and designs remained sharp. Throughout the research process, archaeologists finally discovered the reason why the ship sank. They speculated it might have been due to water currents forcing the ship to change its original route. During this process, the ship encountered an incident and caused an accident. After cleaning and restoration, the ship was displayed in the Hazim Museum. Many shipbuilding craftsmen came here to admire and study the shipbuilding techniques from the Yuan dynasty. Although the overall shape of the ship was not as refined as today's, the connection techniques still made modern shipbuilders admire it. Dear friends, archaeology has so many things that surprise us. There are discoveries that even to this day remain unsolved mysteries. So, in your opinion, among the discoveries above, which one impressed you the most? Don't forget to give the mysterious universe a like and subscribe to the Enigmatic Echoes channel so you don't. For now, goodbye and see you again. Subscribe to the Guian Echo channel. See?